تفضلي.
Lovely conference we are having. Now, allow me to go ahead and call on my colleagues who will be sharing this session with me and having this lovely discussion this evening. I would like to call on Engineer Ali Awaji, Executive Director of National Geospatial Data Governance, and my colleague, Engineer Hussam Al-Talhi, Manager of National Coverage, and Dr. Sahar Jawad, Executive Director of the Project Management Office, and Ms. Wajdan Asiri, Manager of Regulation and Policy. Please join me in welcoming them on stage. I think we will need one more chair, please. We need a seat. All right. So until we get that sorted, Engineer Hussam, please. So let me tell you a little bit about GEOSA and what we do. So the General Authority of Survey and Geospatial Information, known as GEOSA, aims really to regulate, advance, and supervise the surveying and geospatial information and imaging sector in the kingdom, achieving, of course, quality and improving performance in accordance with global and international best practices. This includes adopting and developing the national geospatial infrastructure, preparing strategic plans, conducting studies and research, as well as attracting investments, among other things as well. And I think we should get this. All right, there you go. There's our seat coming right there. So this gets us warmed up to start our conversation this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Okay. So until we get this sorted out, maybe we will get our thoughts also running on what we want to speak about today, and having GEOSA as the regulator of the sector of geospatial information here with us, maybe that would give us the initiation of our conversation. We will just give them a moment. Maybe I'll start with you, Mohandas Ali. I wanted to talk to you about GEOSA and its several vital tasks that it has today. Tell me the most prominent of them, please.
Thank you, Fatma, and I would like to thank all of the audience, Your Excellency, and the distinguished guests who is interested in the regulation and regulating activities in different sectors. So thank you for having GEOSA today. GEOSA is basically the regulator of the geospatial sector within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That brings us to a very interesting topic. We started as a very challenging situation back in maybe 5 to 10 years ago. We started with this challenge where geospatial data is needed, geospatial data is acknowledged, but the challenge is with quality. We have poor quality, we have less regulation activity, which made the government or made the decision makers to allow and support the establishment of or re-establishment of GEOSA as the regulator of the geospatial sector, focusing on a number of activities, basically to enable the establishment of infrastructures, allowing and establishing and approving policies to enable our users, and not only our users, but to also enable our community to participate in the development of geospatial sector. From that, we can draw the attention on number of activities. From these activities, as I mentioned, infrastructure and policy making, representing GEOSA in number of initiatives globally, and leading the whole geospatial industry, not only regionally, but in the Arab states community. We are very well heard. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is very well advancing in regulating geospatial activities and bringing up together the enablement of geospatial data to our users and communities, from all the way from government entities to private sector and academia, and trying to live up to this challenge and trying to solve it. And hopefully this session will help us to understand more what efforts that we adopted and achieved to empower the geospatial sector.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mohandas Ali, for touching on that subject, infrastructure of geospatial. And that takes me to you, Engineer Hussam. What does geospatial infrastructure mean exactly? Who does it serve?
First of all, I would like to share with you the mic, if you allow me. Now let's move to the...
And could you please bring the chair closer for me?
Let's move
Okay.
to the infrastructure.
Yes, closer so I can sit.
And we will be
Thank you
talking
very much.
about our infrastructure that we are utilizing to build the future. We are building a digital world that's helping us and making us making this information or geospatial information useful through our portal or through single truth, our data truth. And I would like to mention many things that I would like to get here. I would like to start with the numbers. Let's start with the numbers that talking about our infrastructure. We do have more than or about 4,000 ground station that has the gravity and also the elevation data that we are working with. Also, we do have about 41 absolute relative ground station for gravity. I'm talking about numbers and some of the sensor that we are using. It's almost it will be hard for you, but I will be explaining this later. And also, we contribution to have a baseline of all the kingdom to have everything measured up to 1 centimeter or centimeter accuracy. This has been supported with about 209 course station working 24 hours to have all the information delivered to the consumer.
So just so I understood you correctly, Engineer Hussam, you're saying that these numbers, the 209 cores, the almost 3,000 or 4,000 national gravity network stations, those will give me accuracy data so that it can serve remote cars, smart cities, self-driving cars, and all that?
Yeah, you touch the subject that I am talking about now. It's giving the full picture of our daily life. We order food from any applications. Also, we order our taxi through our website. To get your taxi and to get your food delivered to your home, it's relative to the accuracy of the geospatial information, up to 1 centimeter. Also, I would like to add something interesting, that we already cover about 290 city and village by using a 3D scanning, using also panoramic imaging and also the 3D scanning. Why is that? We are also enabling all the new technology, the future. We are building the infrastructure to have the future enabled by supporting the self-driving cars. Anyone can now ride a car with a trusted geospatial data to go from point A to point B. Also we are supporting mobilizing people, not also on the ground, also in the sky. We support some initiative called taxi, air taxi, and this is something amazing that you saw like unmanned vehicles transfer like people from A to B through the sky. Also, the smart cities, and this is the trend, I think, now, to have the smart city and the digital twin. This is what I will like to show you something like interesting about this. What we are like seeing now, it's digital twin that's converting our real world to the digital. We are in the digital world. We can calculate, we can also measure our platform, our like 3D perspective for everything inside our economy. Also, what we are seeing here, it's something in the future, and also we can solve problems like flood analysis. Imagine that we do have a certain of percentage that we will have a rain in the an area. We can simulate this, and we can test our infrastructure. We can have a better decision for our government. Also, we are supporting the environmental. How can this happen in here? Also, we can measure the footprint that's affect taking our carbon and giving the oxygen. We are supporting environmental sustainability by also measuring the trees, also measuring having the statistic for how much we are contributing this world.
Beautiful.
In the end, we are contributing with the engineering and building the future by having everything digitizing and having the 3D perspective for all the community. You can redesign, replan, or even doing all the measurement and doing all the scenarios without going to the real world by using the computer and using the 3D dimensional city. You can do whatever you want in this, and you have the better decision and also accurate as the data provided.
Beautiful. So just right in your chair, you can do all of that, just sitting where you are, doing the analysis, doing the data, doing crisis management, playing scenarios, even putting solutions for it, just right where you are. Beautiful. So now that takes me to you, Dr. Sahar. Our colleagues spoke about the infrastructure. It seems quite ready for investment. So the question here is, what is GEOSA's role in really promoting and getting those investments to the sector?
First of all, I warmly welcome to everyone today, and it's my pleasure to be part of this huge event and this discussion about promising sectors, which is geospatial sector. It's always good to look at the number first, but before explain the number, I will highlight GEOSA role on shaping the geospatial sectors and make it this sector is attractive for investment. So one of the central role of GEOSA that building a strong geospatial infrastructure that can attract the investor and supporting the innovation. And the national strategy, the national geospatial national strategy, it's one of these achievements that working to enabling the investment with clear economic impact. So it is expected economic impact, 11 billion Saudi riyal in GDP, and additional 10,800 additional jobs, and 1.2 additional investment by 2023. This is not the only achievement for GEOSA. Also, there is too many initiatives done by GEOSA, which is make this sectors very attractive for investor. One of them, licensing system, which is make the sector it's clear and for all the investment. The 19, which we can see here on the screen, the 19 classification activities that classify according to national economic activities system. which is very clear, make all the activities on the sectors clear for investor and give a clear picture about the activities available. This is not the only one. In the future, it can be more. One more things here about the achievement, which is Geo Sandbox, a platform to testing all the solutions and turn it on to the project. I can just mention one more thing, which is very important: the future activities, economic activities initiatives, which will be turning on some of activities, geospatial activities, to investment opportunities. And all this make this sectors, it's very attractive.
Beautiful, sounds good. And I know that GEOSA having that kind of strength point when it comes to investment has a lot of background hard work throughout the years that led to GEOSA to be a role model in the region, and also has its print globally as well. Could you tell me more about that, Wajdan, please?
Well, first, thank you, Fatma, and good afternoon to you and to everyone here. It's an honor to be here today, as I consider myself lucky to share a story that reflects how visionary leadership combined with dedicated effort, enriched by international cooperation, enriched by international cooperation and knowledge exchange, can create real impact and meaningful results. So in recent years, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has made a really remarkable progress in empowering and regulating the geospatial sector at national, regional, and international levels.
That's true.
And today, Saudi Arabia, represented by the General Authority for Survey and Geospatial Information, is a member of more than 15 international organizations and regional committees.
It's those we're seeing here on the screen,
yes,
correct?
Such as IHO,
beautiful,
FIG, ISPRS, where the kingdom not only represents itself, it also serves as the regional voice for the Arab world. So in that regard, Saudi Arabia chairs the UNGGIM Arab States Committee, chairs the regional organization for the protection of the marine environment, and also is a founding member of the International Advisory Committee of the United Nations Global Knowledge and Innovation Center in China.
That's beautiful.
So, as my colleague, Engineer Ali, will give you more details about it later, the Saudi governance framework was adopted also last year by the UNGGIM Arab State Committee to be a guideline to help building similar governance frameworks. So these achievements highlight the kingdom's role in advancing the geospatial landscape internationally.
Beautiful, and I'm glad, Wajdan, you touched on that, governance and a framework, because that's exactly the point I would like to discuss with you, Engineer Ali. Could you tell me more about GEOSA's efforts when it comes to governance, when it comes to the framework Wajdan was talking about?
Certainly, Fatma, and thank you, Wajdan, for elaborating this as an introduction. First, let's ask ourselves a question. Why governance? What does governance mean? And why it's so necessary to establish such an organization? Basically, as I mentioned before, we started with a very, very challenging situation where we have a number of data producers. Basically, they go ahead and produce geospatial data that is relevant to a number of usage, as mentioned by my colleague Hussam. But more importantly, what's the effect on having as much geospatial data as possible to being produced? It has an effect basically or directly to the budget of the government organization, but not only that, it will affect the geospatial data quality. It affect as a result our trust in the geospatial data that we have, and more importantly, it will create a confusion among our users. So basically, GEOSA has started a geospatial governance initiative Later on, it resulted to decisions by our GEOSA Board of Directors approve the national organization of the geospatial sector as a form of governance framework that is including roles and responsibility, basically who does produce what and for how long and for how many times in different sectors or different subjects. And that takes me to another point which is important to mention. Basically, the geospatial sector have been divided in 15 different subjects. We call them foundational themes. For example, a theme that is related to, for example, transportation. We always use transportation to move, as mentioned by my colleague, from point A to point B. But there are a number of foundation themes similar to transportation. For example, addresses that allows us to know exactly where we're going, how to use our national address, and there are a number of human-related activities and other foundational data themes that is available as a national organization of the whole sector. As a result of that, we needed, in GEOSA, to establish guidelines to help us to use these geospatial data. That comes to a form of policies, standards, specification. So basically the policies is to tell people what to do and what to ignore or what to stop doing, or maybe how to do it in a manner that preserves security, allows sustainability, and also provide our, I would say, stakeholders with a clear vision how to use geospatial data and also to stay within the framework that allows for achieving our visionary 2030 vision that has number of goals. From that goes maybe quality of life and so on. One important thing maybe to close on with this question is that GEOSA not only work to provide an overall governance, but also GEOSA provided number of tools that allow of establishment of these and implementation of these governance. And there are a number of examples and best practices that we collaborated with, as mentioned by Wujdan earlier. We are collaborating with a very international established organization called OGC, the Open Geospatial Consortium, which helped us to form these kind of direction. We are also attending and being part of an international organization like the ISO, IHO for hydrography and marine activities, and so on. So basically, we're trying to regulate in an idea to enable
Beautiful.
and to empower.
All right, beautiful. Now that being said, being the regulator, Engineer Hussam, you mentioned such great examples a little bit ago. You talked about a digital twin. You talked about a lot of nice things that we can use with the geospatial information data. But now as a regulator, and what Ali mentioned as well, how can giga and mega projects in Saudi Arabia take advantage of those and of this regulations and this data? Could you give us some real life examples perhaps?
Sure.
To clarify the picture?
Sure, but as I am a number guy, I would like to start with the numbers.
Sure, we
first.
love numbers.
Yes. I would like to mention that in the hydrography survey, we already complete a 100% covering of the Red Sea. This is what we call it the survey for the Red Sea, the seabed. And also we are completing the 75% for the Gulf, Arabian Gulf. And to have these numbers and to have the survey for about 1,200 islands, we are rich of island, alhamdulillah, this is something great. And the question will come before we are supporting the mega project. Why is this number, why GEOSA invest in this huge amount of projects? Is it not just the maps, it's accurate seabed that coverage the impact and impacting the navigation safety, and also the vessels carrying our goods and energy, also the resource, and also we are using this for environmental monitoring and maritime security. This is very important and crucial for our nation because we are in the like having the access of the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf. And to have the security of this, we are doing this. The impact will come, as you know, our visionary 2030. We are supporting the quality of life. We do have, we need the safe navigation for our vessels to mobilize the people and also our goods and energy in the sea.
Cruise ships also,
Yeah,
maybe.
the cruise ship, yeah. I'm planning to this also. And this is something like it's crucial for us. I would like also to touch something related to our conference here, the communication. The communication is very important. And I will touch something, it's called the submarine cables. The submarine cables, it's more than 99% of our communication now or in the future or in the, like, in all the world, it's going through the sea, the seabed, through these submarine cables that connect all the worlds together and to have it in one village called the internet. And also, we are trading the power also by the power line that we have to have the maintenance and laying out of these submarine cables and also monitoring the submarine cables. We will be using the seabed navigation and also the survey. Also, I would like to add that we are doing the biggest project in the world using the unmanned vessels, and that will impact our environment because we do have a lower footprint of carbon that's affecting our world.
And that's one of the goals of the Vision
this
2030.
is one of the goals, and also it's including in the program of the 2030, that's quality of life. We are supporting the quality of life by doing this and by saving our environment. Also, I would like to highlight something that maybe you see some sharks here.
I was about to ask you about that. What's with the shark eating that cable?
Yeah, we are not helping also only the engineers and the communicators and everything. Also, we are helping the sharks. The sharks looking for snacks. It's seeing these cables as tasty. And
They're messing with our internet.
Yes, they are. They are. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so those cables, just to clarify, the location of those cables, how to locate those cables, it's all geospatial data, correct?
Yes.
All
yes.
right, beautiful.
That's showing how work beneath the waves. Like it's a very vital for our life or our digital above of this. Like we are a connecting world, even behind these waves and also above these waves.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so with all that being said, Dr. Sahar, what Ali mentioned, what Hussam mentioned, it seems like the geospatial sector is such a promising sector for investment, isn't it?
Yeah, sure, Fatima. And I will start with numbers as engineering Hussam start as well. So if we can just looking to the number that geospatial analytics market, just analytics market, currently it is $370 million and expected to be on the next 5 years to be $570 million with annual compound growth rate 9.2. And this is demonstrate how the geospatial market, it's very promising because this is just, as I said, an analytics market, excluding the activities and other aspects in the market. Additional to this, as engineering Hussam mentioned, there is an increased demand for geospatial data and technology in all the sectors. All the sectors, communications, smart cities, energy, transportation. So this is really make the geospatial market, it's very, very promising market. One more thing, or two more things I will add here about why geospatial market, it's very promising. It is very wide range. It's provide or introduce very wide range of services and products. And this is give the investor huge chances to innovate and to work in this market. And we can add to this, it is very innovative sectors using the emerging technology and the new technology with clear impact, clear economic impact in terms of GDP, in terms of investment, in terms of jobs. All this make geospatial sectors, it's very, very promising.
Beautiful. And as you know, Dr. Sahar, GEOSA has left its print, as Wajdan said earlier, not only locally and regionally, but also internationally. Could you emphasize more on that, Wajdan, please?
Yeah, well, with the unwavering support of our wise leadership and with the consensus of the esteemed UNGGIM global community, Saudi Arabia is preparing to host the United Nations Global Geospatial Ecosystem Center of Excellence in Riyadh, the third of its kind, by the way. And now please join me in watching a short video.
Beautiful.
وبذلك نشكل جزءاً من الجهود والدعم الدولي للسعي للعمل مع الجميع. نثمن عرض المملكة العربية السعودية لاستضافة مركز تميز في الرياض، نثني على الجهود الرامية إلى إنشاء مركز جديد للتميز. ندعم عرض المملكة العربية السعودية
نثمن عرض المملكة العربية السعودية. يسرنا كذلك أن نرى الهيئة العامة للمصاحب والمعلومات الجيومكانية في السعودية تعمل على استضافة مركز الامتياز العالمي في الرياض، وهذا سيزيد من قدرات إدارة المعلومات الجيومكانية. ونرحب كذلك بمبادرة المملكة العربية السعودية، نرحب كذلك بجهود الرياض، ندعم بكل الرضا.
نقدر عرض المملكة العربية السعودية مهنئة بخصوص إنشاء المركز المقترح في الرياض.
نرحب بالتزام المملكة العربية السعودية تجاه الأمم المتحدة بإنشاء مركز الامتياز العالمي، كما ندعم عرض المملكة العربية السعودية. نثمن عرض المملكة العربية السعودية، إننا ندعم عرض المملكة العربية السعودية لاستضافة مركز للامتياز. نشيد كذلك بعرض المملكة العربية السعودية
رحبوا بعرض المملكة العربية السعودية ورحبت بمقترح المملكة العربية السعودية.
Sharing that video. Thank you, Wajdan.
So this center will mark a new era, moving beyond the traditional concept of spatial data infrastructure to a broader, more dynamic and future-ready geospatial ecosystem, which is an integrated environment where people, policy, and technologies working together. Looking ahead, this center will help build an ecosystem where geospatial data, talent, and technologies working together to inform decision-making across sectors, from national security and smart cities to climate action and public services. So let's say that this center will, and it is, a milestone in the international cooperation stage. Yeah.
Beautiful. We look forward to having it and having it really jumpstart the center. So this takes me back to you, Engineer Ali. Could you tell me more about what are the main initiatives really of GEOSA when it comes to the geospatial ecosystem which Dan was talking about?
Thank you, Fatima. Let me start with a very important milestone. Back in 2014, the conference, a very well-known conference called LEAP, at the edition of 2024, our president announced and launched an initiative, a national initiative that helped us and asked GEOSA to establish the national geospatial ecosystem, taking in consideration all of the international direction. So basically, as Wujdan mentioned, we're not trying to stay behind by adapting to an old technology or old direction. So basically, we acknowledge the role of technology. We acknowledge the role of importance of people, importance of users. So we are consider them a very important role in our infrastructure. We are calling it now the National Geospatial Ecosystem. I would like to share with you a very important milestone that this initiative
Sure.
is fully implemented. Now we are integrated. Now machine can play a very important role in organizing, enabling, and also establishing all of the related use cases, also to satisfy our governance. So we're trying to allow allow the Internet of Things, AI, to be enabled by our regulatory activities from these initiatives, basically to have a smart data management, to have an operational ecosystem that allows machine to be a part of our daily activities and daily decisions. We are developing and we are enabling ecosystem data architecture by continuously updating, continuously developing to not only host new kinds of data, but also to satisfy and implement new directions. And with that, I would like to close up with the importance of this ecosystem. Give it a try. Reach out to GEOSA because GEOSA is very advancing in these kind of activities, not only to represent our departments or GEOSA, but also to the whole geospatial sector. So we are talking about a community.
Beautiful.
The geospatial community is one. Now it's advancing, and you all welcome, either from a private sector, academia, or government organization. You are on board, and you are very welcome.
That's wonderful, and I'm glad you talked about communities, Engineer Ali, because that takes me to our success story at GEOSA. I mean, it must take partners to kind of draw the success story that we lived. Could you tell us more about that, Engineer Hussam?
Yes, as you may hear before, we spoke about infrastructure, and then I take you to dive in the sea with our survey. Now, all this information and survey, how we make this information available and useful for all of us through Geospatial Portal. Let me introduce to you our Geospatial Portal, and it's a single platform where all your data comes together and shared with our partners. I will go to the numbers, and we do have collaboration about more than 90 government entities, and we do also have more than 22 private sector, and my colleagues, they told me this number has been increased.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also more than like 22 academy and 50 plus private sector. We do have inquiries, more than 500 or 200 inquiries, and we provide about 500 services. All of this through our portal. This is very important by enabling private sector. Enabling private sector, we are empowering the innovation. We are just talking about self-driving and air taxi, also the smart cities and etc. application that we can have this platform helping our application and service and solutions. For example, I will take the self-driving, how we are enabling our partner and also the private sector to have this by having the regulator and also to providing the HD maps, which built on also the data that already we have by mobile mapping and panoramic imaging. Also the air taxi require a 3D data to have the corridor that the airplanes can go through or the unmanned vehicles can go through. Also to have also the obstacles, the height obstacles, all of this data can be provided by the GeoPortal. In the end, I would like to talk about the smart cities and the trend, the digital twin, how we can help. And as you see in the last video, that we are protecting our world. We are transferring the real world to have it digitized and to have it in the portal and to do more simulations, more solutions, more geo solutions on it. We will have more protective data and innovative idea.
Of course, with all that, Engineer Hussam, يعني having that, it will reduce cost, it will reduce time, it will reduce effort, and it will reduce also having other sectors doing the same thing at the same time, right?
Yeah, I will name it, it's a gateway for the raw data to be transferred in the real world and digitized world, and to have all our stakeholder and management. We do have foundation team, as Engineer Ali mentioned before. We do have gathering all of this information from different sectors, and we are empowering government, businesses, and also innovators to have better future.
Beautiful. I love that. That's really well said. This takes me to you, Dr. Sahar. What are some great investment opportunities ahead of us in the sector that you think might be interesting?
Yeah, sure. After we talk about all the achievements and the promising market, there's many opportunities actually, and future economic activities initiatives is one of them that will introduce some geospatial activities to the investment opportunities in the market. And this will be a very good chance to all local and international companies, enabling the private sectors, make a strategic partnership between government and private sectors. Licensing system, as I said, which is regulate and putting the criteria for operate on the geospatial sectors, make the sector is very transparent for investor and for private sectors. One more thing, and it is very interesting to close up this question with GeoSandbox, which is platform to testing the solutions and turn it scaling up as project, future project.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing that example. Wujdan, this takes me to you. And through the past years, as you know, GeoSA has not only moved up the ladder, but rather jumped up the ladder really in ranking. Could you tell us more about that?
It is, yeah. So finally, numbers.
Yes.
It is with a pleasure I say that the kingdom's achievements are not abstract. They are measurable. So in only 2 years, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has moved from 32nd to 9th place globally, now ranking 6th among the G20 nations and first in both Arab and Middle East region. And that was in the Geospatial Knowledge Infrastructure Readiness Index, an index that compares countries' readiness in different areas such as infrastructure, policy, and capacity building. And now allow me to share a personal reflection.
Sure.
Yeah. So earlier this year in Madrid, I was sitting quietly, preparing myself for the upcoming panel on the legal perspective on GeoAI, when suddenly one of my colleagues placed a dark wooden rounded piece in my hand, engraved with the words, "The National Geospatial Agency of the Year."
And that's the one we see there.
Thank you. An award that had been received by Dr. Mohammed Al-Sayel, the CEO of the General Authority for Survey and Geospatial Information. In that moment, and believe me, Fatma, it felt like much more than an award. I could see years of vision, partnerships, the tireless dedication of so many people working together. So it wasn't only a recognition of what we achieved, it is actually a reminder to keep building a future where geospatial knowledge is not only a national strength, but also a global contribution.
Beautifully said, Wujdan. Thank you for that. And I see we still have a few minutes on the clock. So how about one last message that you guys could send for us and you would like to tell the audience here? Maybe Engineer Hussam, you could start?
Yeah, no numbers now.
Okay.
I'm preparing like a sentence that I would like to have and say it like in short. And digital twin is not just about technology. It's about creating smarter, safer, and greener world for our future generation. This is something I would like to share with you in this moment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Engineer Ali, please.
Actually, it's very hard to just close up this discussion with the general point. But let me simplify things for you. For all of our attendees, either in person or online, geospatial is an enabling sector. So we are expected to enable other sectors. We are trying so hard to do that. All of the recognition from international organizations, from national agencies, our government recognize the importance of geospatial, hence they invested in such directions. So I would like to thank you all to support GEOSA in achieving such milestones. And I would like to remind ourselves that we are now becoming the center of attraction, not only regionally, but also globally. So as my previous message, jump on with us and join us with the direction of development of this geospatial sector, because it is very promising.
Beautiful. It is indeed, isn't it, Dr. Sahar?
Thank you so much, Fatima. And as a last word, maybe I will say all this huge work on regulation, licensing, strong infrastructure, ecosystem, all in the end will make a strong and trust environment for investment and supporting the sectors to grow more in the future. And as we said, it is a promising, so still there is huge opportunities in the future.
Beautiful. Wujdan.
Beautiful. So I would quote you to say that it takes leadership, partnerships to grow.
Beautiful. It really does. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, my dear
Thank
colleagues. I would like to go ahead and view the next slide and reiterate what Mohandas Ali was saying, that please go ahead and reach out to GEOSA. Please do reach out and talk to us, ask us questions. We want to enable you. We want to support you. We want to give you whatever you need when it comes to the geospatial sector. Here are our website, email address, phone number, and also our social media accounts as well. So please go ahead and follow us on that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear guests. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sura? Okay. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this session, we conclude our program for today, through which we have explored many topics in the fields of communication, space, and technology. And we welcome you to tomorrow's enriching sessions and insightful experiences, which will gather distinguished speakers and ICT sector leaders with a full agenda. Until then, enjoy your evening. Thank you.